Yana, and welcome to your Rise and Shine yoga practice. Today's yoga practice is focused on yoga for a flexible mind and body. So let's get started by placing the feet hip width distance apart and place the arms out at a star position so the feet, you look down, are as wide as the hands here. Really taking up as much space as you can on your mat, extended through the fingertips, ecstatic through the toes and the feet. And you might be wondering, what do I mean by ecstatic through the toes and the feet? Well, pressing the big toe, the little toe, the back corner, the arch of the foot, the inside of the heel, all aspects of the feet extended into the ground. And by taking up the space, we begin with this flexible pose or power pose. If you've been watching any of these interesting TED Talks that talk about just the language of the body and say you need to walk into a space and be the most confident person that you can be, or say you have a job interview. It's even said that if you could go and stand in outside or even in the bathroom before you do this, and to stand in this powerful pose, extended and taking up space, that this actually creates a neural connection between the body and the mind that sends signals to the brain that you are confident, whether you actually feel confident. So we're building that idea from the inside out of this confidence, or the outside in actually in this pose, because we are taking up the space with all of the body, all of the mind, all of the spirit, and then it's transferring it into our being. So with that beautiful run to begin with, maybe you're noticing the arms are beginning to burn here. That's okay. Rotate the shoulders up and down and back, and really begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Firing up the breath, firing up the body to begin with. We're starting in this active standing meditation pose to begin with. And when you're ready, gently exhaling the arms down, noticing the relief that you feel as you bring the hands back to the heart center here. Exhaling, placing the hands on the front of the hips, hinging forward at the waist. Beautiful. Pull up on the kneecaps here. Extend out through the top of the head into this tabletop forward fold. You can place the hands onto the thighs, not on the kneecaps. Most importantly, grab a hold of calves if that's accessible to you, and extend out, even as if you have another inch that between the top of your head and the bottom of your tailbone. Breathing here, belly button back towards spine. So we're moving in to this idea of flexibility through our motions that then translates into flexibility of our mind and body state. Also, tipping the tailbone back, and thinking about spreading the hips wide and the tailbone, bringing the bottom of the pelvic, each of the pelvic bone, far apart from each other. So inwardly rotating the thighs here. One more breath here. Nice and tall through the spine, strong through the legs, and on the exhale, drawing the right hand down to the ground. You could even walk, if it's comfortable for you, walk the right hand over towards the right calf, maybe even grabbing a hold of the right ankle, and then drawing the left hand up into the air. If it's great for you, feel free to look up, or you can look towards the center of your mat. So beginning with some flexibility here, this forward bend, forward flexibility through the spine, through the back of the legs and the hamstrings. Pulling up on the kneecaps, a little micro bend in the knees here. engaging through the legs and the feet at the same time. And then on the exhale, walking the hands back to center, walking the hands out in front of you, inhaling up if the hands can reach the floor. Nice to your flat back, and then exhale, walking the fingertips back down towards the center of the legs here. Bending the elbows in towards each other. Imagine if you had both hands on the mat, that you're pulling the mat in towards each other. Pulling both of the hands in towards each other. Tearing the mat closer together, actually. And that will create this motion of drawing the scapula down and back and creating more space for the upper spine. Then inhale up to flat back, and then walking the left hand over towards the right ankle or towards the right foot, calf, whatever is accessible to you, as we're working with different bodies here. And if it feels great, you could lift the right hand up into the air or even wrap it around to the left side of the hip. Inhale, looking up towards the sky, or if it feels good for you, head down towards the center of your mat. Extending that breath deep into the belly, all the way down into the tailbone, into the mid-back here. One more full breath. And then on the exhale, releasing both hands, bending the knees here. We're going to come into a goddess pose. So placing both palms on the inner thighs here. The knees bent at a 95-degree angle, toes pointing out towards the corners of the mat, the heels in towards the center line. So 45-degree in the feet, and then the knees come out towards the corners. Both hands can rest on the inner thighs. Rotate the shoulders up and down and back, making space in the thighs here. And then drawing the right shoulder blade down towards the midline, pressing into the inner thigh here. Hips back as if you're sitting in a chair. And then switching left shoulder forward. Flexible through the shoulders, flexible through the spine. Sitting back in that chair. Inhale. Exhale, extending the hands out, extending the legs out. Coming back into the star pose, belly button tapped towards spine. And just feeling how great it feels with that flexibility we've created in the upper spine now to come back into this full extension of the star pose. Beautiful. Hands back to heart. Jumping the feet together, stepping the feet together if that is better for you, and walking to the front of your mat. Bring the hands up into the air, gathering both of the hands above the head, bending, slight back bend here. And then exhale, cascading the upper body down towards the floor. Forward fold. Inhale, sliding the hands up right here. Flat back, extending out of the top of the head. Belly button back towards spine. Nice and strong for your feet here. And exhale, cascading forward as we come into this flexible sun salutation. Bring the right foot back. Right knee can come onto the ground. Squaring off the hips, the right top of the foot touches the ground. And inhale, reaching the hands up above the head. Beautiful. Square off your hips, drawing the left heel, the left corner of the hip back. Belly button towards spine. Interlacing the fingers if it's available before, above your head, as before. And then exhaling into a small back bend here. Pushing first the hips forward, then the middle chest, then the heart, and then maybe that bend reaches all the way into the neck. Inhale into your nice proud chest here, and exhale, windmilling the hands down to frame the leg, the front foot. And to untuck the right toe, bring the left toe back to meet the right in your plank pose. Nice and strong through the breath here. Beautiful. One more breath, inhaling. And on the exhale, draw the knees down to the ground. The chest comes down in chaturanga or inchworm as the elbows squeeze together, inchworming the body forward. Toes untuck, coming up into cobra position. Maybe even lifting the hands up off of the floor as both feet are pressed together in creating one kind of scorpion tail behind you. Exhale the hands down to the ground. Tuck the toes under, pressing up strongly into plank here. And then all the way back into downward dog. First downward dog, perhaps of the day for you, so feel free to take it as you like it. Walk your knees out, bend one knee, then the other. Exploring what feels good in your body. Exploring that flexibility on the backside of the hamstrings. And then coming into a point of stillness, perhaps energy brings the heels up off of the ground. Imagine that you are standing in high heels, so bringing the energy pressing into the toes, high heels, heels way high up off of the ground, and inward rotating the shoulders as you exhale, releasing the heels down to the ground. And it's great. If the heels don't meet the ground, that's absolutely fine. I've been practicing for a few decades here, so it wasn't even until maybe the first 10 years of practice that after that point that the heels extended down to the ground for me. So just being flexible in your mind and gentle and kind about where you are today and knowing that it will change tomorrow. All right, on the next inhale, inhaling the left leg up into the air. Behind you, take some circles up through the hip joint, bending the knee to a 90-degree angle, circling in one direction, circling the hip, then left knee around in the other direction, pressing the left leg out far behind you. Fantastic. Drawing the left leg forward. Right knee again touches the ground, and then drawing the right foot up to meet the left, bending forward, hanging forward on your forward fold. Sitting back in your chair here, draw both feet together. Inhale, drawing the arms up into the air. Sitting back into Utkatasana or chair position. Hands come up into the air as if you're holding a beach ball. You can look down towards your knees and make sure the knees don't pop over the toes. Can you see your toes? But because you want to protect your knees here. Nice and loose through the shoulders. You can bring the arms out into cactus position. And on the exhale, standing all the way up, reaching up, extending the fingertips, and taking a little slight micro bend here. Inhale, exhale, hands back to heart center. Beautiful. Noticing, taking a few breaths here. Noticing the flexibility that you might feel through the lower body, warmed up with the strength of the planks through the mid body, and this flexibility even all the way out through the head and the neck. And speaking of the head and neck, drawing the right ear to the right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder, active through the feet, tall through the spine, right ear, right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder, and draw the chin down towards the chest, little slight semicircles, right ear to right shoulder, chin down the chest, semicircle, left ear to left shoulder. Strong through the belly, strong through the spine. Windmilling the head, maybe around into full circles if that feels good for you. And then switch direction into the other direction. Head comes back to neutral. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up above the head. Exhale, cascading forward, fold. Bending the knees. Inhale, sliding the hands up the legs to flat back. Beautiful. And this time, when the hands come down to the ground, bringing the left foot back. Left knee comes onto the ground, top of the left foot, squaring off both of the hips. Inhale, the hands above the head. Beautiful, right hip draws back. Top of the belly button, spine as the belly button pulls in to support the lower back. Inhale, reaching up, interlacing the fingers, taking a little slight back bend here, first from the hips, mid back, upper back, and slight bend of the neck as the chin comes up towards the sky. That feels good for you in your practice. Beautiful. Exhale, drawing the hands down to frame the right front foot, tucking the left toe under right toe, comes back to meet the left. Strong in your plank here. One motion, one board from the top of your head, middle of the back, puffing up into behind the heart and behind the kidneys, out through the back of the heels, then drawing the knees down, coming down into chaturanga, or up into your up dog cobra, whatever feels great in your practice. If you come to cobra, squeezing the side body with the elbows, feet coming together, heels kissing, inner calves kissing, drawing the hands up off of the floor. Beautiful. And then exhale, tucking the toes under, pressing back up. One strong plank here, and all the way back to downward dog. Beautiful. Take 3 deep inhalations and exhalations out of releasing. If this is a lot for you, feel free to come to child's pose here. As you reset, and one more breath, inhaling, exhaling out on the beautiful. And this time drawing the right leg up into the air. Right knee bends behind, back, reaching towards the left hip. In your one-legged dog, rotating the knee around in one direction. Large circles through that hip joint. In the other direction. Beautiful. And then drawing the right foot all the way forwards. Left foot comes to meet the right. Cascading forward, hanging over the feet here. Inhaling up to flat back. Exhale, both feet come together, sitting back in your chair, knees glued together, toes glued together. Belly comes off of the spine. Inhale, lifting the hands up in front of the heart in prayer position. And then exhale, twisting, bending, bringing the flexibility of the right elbow onto the top of the left thigh. The sternum and the hands meet in the center. Gaze up towards the sky or down towards the feet if that's comfortable for you. Squaring off the hips here. Beautiful. One more inhalation and exhalation. And then on the exhale, bring the hands back to heart center, sitting back further in your chair. Look down, make sure your knees aren't over your toes here. And then initiating move from the center of the heart, moves over. Left elbow comes on top of 2. Right thigh here. Hands press into the center of the sternum. Flexible spine, flexible mind. Inhale. Up towards the sky, you might gaze, or down towards the toes. And then clicking down towards the toes so that I can make sure my knees are in line. So I'm being careful with my alignment to make sure I don't cause future problems for my body. Inhaling, hands back to heart center, sit down in that chair. Beautiful, bring the hands up above the head as if you're holding onto a beach ball. And on the exhale, strong in the body, woo, as you're standing up, extending, slight back bend here. Beautiful, hands back to heart center. Fantastic, opening up and standing into Tadasana pose. Reconnecting with the breath, reconnecting with the focus. Notice what's happening to it, the body. Seeing how quickly can you calm down the beating of the heart. Can you identify the beating of the heart? Maybe it's beating fast, and just take a nice deep inhalation in. Inhale the arms up above the head. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Opening out, both feet on the mat here. And we'll just move into some gentle swinging of the arm back and forth. Flexible through the lower back, the mid back, wrapping the hands around the body. Creating some space as you look over the right shoulder, then the left shoulder. This is a great flexible position for creating flexibility in the entire spine, and also massaging your digestive organs here. With this twist, you might draw the left heel up and then the right heel up as you move in the opposite direction, making sure you don't become too static. Beautiful. Coming back to the breath. And then exhale, slowly releasing, letting that go. Bringing the hands together, bringing the feet together. Hands back to the heart, into Namaste. Bending the chin down towards the chest in gratitude for showing up for this fantastic, flexible practice. Committing to more flexibility in your mind so that you can be more flexible in your spirit and in your body as well. And giving thanks for this time that we spent together, and thanks, gratitude for your commitment to your community as well. As when you show up in full-bodied health, you are actually able to better be of service to yourself and others. Namaste and Ashe.